Hi there and welcome to my channel. In this series called Freebie Fridays, I will be making layouts using the free cut files in the paper issues shop. I hope you tag along to get inspired. Hello everyone and welcome to my first process video in my new series. Today I will be using the cut file from the paper issue shop called Rhapsody Flowers. I was quite excited to do this series and I couldn't wait to get started, and I thought I would do something in my comfort zone, which is something to do with flowers. So this cut file is absolutely perfect for that. It is a beautiful cut file. There's lots of little detail in it. It did take me a while to back the cut file, but it looks really pretty in the end. I've decided to use the collection from Page Evans, Take Me Away, and some of the papers from Turn the Page. And this is a great way to use up all your patterned papers or your funny colored papers by backing a cut file like this. It is quite time consuming and it is quite fiddly and fussy, but I love fussy cutting and I love little fiddly things. So this really is a labor of love. However, I really liked it in the end. It was very colorful and very springy. I'm not going to show you how I'm going to back both of these cut files. That took me a couple of hours to do, so I'm just going to skip forward. Here I'm showing you that I have pierced the little holes in the cut file so that I can hand stitch the cut file. I will not be using all 6 of the threads or strands in the embroidery thread. I just use the 3 threads. My fingers are a bit shot. I've been hand stitching on a lot of my layouts the last couple of weeks, so my fingers are really raw and sore. So if you want more texture to your page, I would really recommend you do all 6 strands. But if you want something lighter, do 3 strands and it has just a nice effect as well. So here I am. Now I have backed and stitched both of the cut files. I'm going to bring it closer to the camera so that you can see. I've not stitched through the little sprigs that pop out on the sides. They're just too flimsy and they'll just fall apart when I stitch them. I do place my cut files on the left hand side of the page, just a little bit on the left hand side, off center. I like things off center, so there you go. I'm going to be making a little vase that the cut file is going to be resting on, so that it looks like the flowers are resting nicely in a vase. I will be just drawing that and cutting it by hand. I could do this on a silhouette. If you are not comfortable with drawing yourself, then I'm sure that you could do this with your silhouette, or if you have a die, that's also fine. However, I just think it's just, for me personally, it just goes quicker if I do it that way. Now I've cut ahead quite a bit. I've cut that out and I've stitched the little vase, hand stitched it also only with 3 strands, and here you'll see that I have already fussy cut some of the other flowers out from a page from the Take Me Away collection. It's a page with, I don't even know how many little beautiful flowers out that's just begging to be fussy cut. So I'm just going to nestle them behind the 2 cut files so that it looks like the flowers are popping out from behind them. The 3 frames at the top there, I originally had an idea to create like a gallery wall and have 3 photos in them, but I just couldn't make it work. The 3 frames it just didn't work for me. I couldn't figure out a proper placing for them, so I'm not going to be using the 3 frames. You'll see what I'm going to do in a little while. So yes, so there I'm just fiddling about with the little leaves and the flowers just to get them perfectly behind those 2 cut files and the vase. And there's that floral sheet I'm talking about. Just look at that. Wow, that's just gorgeous. And I know this is an old collection. I know there's nothing new about this collection, but I can't get enough of this. I just can't get enough of it. Too beautiful. Okay, so I do take those 3 frames out and I go back into the paper pad and I find this beautiful butterfly sheet, and I do fussy cut those butterflies out as well. And I end up placing them above the flower cut files so that it looks like the butterflies are sort of flying out from the flowers. And there you see I've spaced them nicely. The photo that I'm using is of me and my grandma. It was at my cousin's kitchen tea last year, and as part of the kitchen tea, we had to make our own little flower wreaths and place them on our heads. And I absolutely loved it. It was such a fun thing to do, and it was such a bonding experience for me to do that with my gran. So I am going to be cutting another frame out. I have a couple of these sheets of these frames. You'll if you follow my Instagram, you'll know that I've already hand stitched those frames, and you're welcome to go look on my Instagram if you haven't already. I think I've got them in a layout share as well, so if you're on my channel, just pop over and go look at my first layout share. There you'll see how I've stitched. I used the back stitch and the chain stitch on these frames, and it turned out pretty nice. So here what I'm doing is, obviously the rectangular frame does not fit on my square photo, so I'm going to make a square frame from 2 of the frames, and I'm really lucky that I have more than one of those sheets that I can do this. So this is just one way of making things go your way. So I'm just going to stick those little edges of the frame on my photo, directly on my photo. There you go, and you can see I'm really excited about that. It really turned out nice. You can't even see the where I've attached the sides, you know, in the corners. You can't even see that. So what I've done now is, I think something is missing in this layout. It feels a bit I don't want to say, what's the word, not bare, too open. It feels vulnerable. I don't know if that makes sense, but it yeah. So I'm looking for something to frame my layout, and that sheet is perfect. So I am going to take it out and I'm going to get my what's that thing called? My craft knife, sorry. My craft knife and my steel ruler, and I'm just going to very precisely cut the inside out. Usually I just, I don't know, dig a hole with my scissors and I just randomly cut, but with this, I mean, it's got precise lines, so I'm doing it now properly, and as you can see there, it looks quite nice and decently done. So I'm going to be cutting 1 inch off 2 of the sides of my white paper as well, of the white cardstock, and I've attached the white cardstock to the frame that I've created, and now I am sticking the cut file and the vase to my background. I've backed all the cut files and the vase and my photo on foam squares just to give them an extra pop, and I have adhered the butterflies and those little flowers popping out just with normal white glue. They will stay there nicely. And I'm going to put the frame of me and my gran on the right hand top corner over there. It looked a bit lost, or it looked a bit floaty, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it look like it's hanging off the wall there. So yeah, there I'm just sticking the last little leaves to the main embellishment area. And I'm going to pull out some of my baker's twine, and I'm going to use the yellow baker's twine just to create a little illusion that the photo is hanging. It's pure coincidence that Brad is just the perfect color for this layout. And there you go. It looks like the photo is hanging. Unfortunately, I could have planned better in using a different color butterfly with my yellow thread over there, but the butterfly is stuck, and I think if I pull it off, it's going to rip the paper, so I just leave it there. It doesn't bother me. It looks fine. These alphas, they are very fiddly. They are foil alphas, and they're very thin, and I'm not going to make you watch this because it took me forever to put them down. But the title is something quite special to me. It says be bold or italic, never regular, and it's on, if you look on the right bottom corner of the screen, you'll see like a wavy text page, and that's also in the Paige Evans the paper pad from Take Me Away, and it's exactly how my granny is. Be bold or italic, never regular. She is such an eccentric woman, and it was so fun making this, keeping her in mind. I hope I see you again soon. If you like what you see, please subscribe and like. Thank you.